Incoming priority message.
And good evening everyone from Basecamp 22, talkshow and mass jump. And today we have a bit of special talkshow because there was this competition. I'm sure you have heard about it.
There was this competition.
Yeah, so today we have, as our guests, we have the top 3 jumpers from our SRV water geyser high jump competition, and they are Commander LoneJohnSilver, who came in first place. Welcome. Yoo-hoo. And Lone John, your result was it 121 kilometers?
Yes, and with you that made the measurement, so...
And then second place, Commander Chankk Saotome, 110 kilometers. Congrats, Chankk.
Yeah, everybody knows my voice.
And top 3, the third place, we have Commander AWW with 77.4 kilometers. Welcome, AW.
Thank you
very much, and that's me.
Yeah, and sorry, Macros, but you just left to 4th place with 65 kilometers.
I know, I'm so sad. Burn you all in hell, commanders.
But I have to say, I have been real busy this afternoon. I have made 3 saves from the orbit because you...
No. You made 2 saves today and then 1 save yesterday.
Ah, yeah.
And yesterday was... It took 2 hours to get me down.
Oh, yeah.
and it took about 20 minutes to get AW and LJS down.
Yeah, and LJS Lone John was a bit faster because he dropped, for some reason, he dropped quite much faster than the rest of you guys. I don't know why. Because...
Yeah, something was definitely different today.
There's really big glitches with Elite Physics because...
Okay,
first of all...
Hasbert, Disorganize, and Echo Eleanor all need wings so they can drop in, and Jonta.
Okay.
And then once one of them gets a wing in and they drop, we can just follow their wake in.
Hasbert already.
Eleanor,
I also have Penny, and I sent an invite to Jonta and Disorganize.
Jackie should be here, but yeah, there she is.
I just follow the wakes. I don't bother with the wings because it's a lot of effort, and I don't want to hassle people. So.
But I can't invite anyone to wing anymore because I'm using the camera now, and I can't do 2 things at the same. But to get back to the competition, if I would organize it now, I would change a couple of things. First of all, I wouldn't allow any orbit jumps because it all boils down to who gets to rescue first, because...
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem. Because today, for example, Lone John was going so fast that even 5 minutes more and he would have been like 200 kilometers away.
Yeah, and if I actually didn't told you I was in orbit and like waited for half an hour, I could have been also a lot higher, so...
Yeah.
If you ask me, we're all winners. All 4 of us will reach into orbit.
And the
totally agree.
Second problem with the high jumping was that you get to the orbit a bit too easily. I think, didn't you, Macros, said that the threshold was somewhere around 25 kilometers?
21.
21.2 as far I could ascertain from the video.
Yeah. So that's when you lose control and you just gain height and all is lost. But
and that's really frustrating too. it makes sense that an SRV is intended to drive on the surface, so it only exists on the surface. But then once it gets into orbit, it basically becomes a cargo container that you have no control over, no thrust, nothing.
Yeah, and also the physics glitch is a bit frustrating because if you try to stop a moving SRV in the orbit, nothing happens. And it requires that the commander relocks, and that puts him stationary in space. And that's when you can try to nudge him back to the planet. So there's something really weird with the physics.
Or just final connected to the game.
Yeah, I think we figured out, like, when I was being bumped, that you can't nudge people anymore. You really have to ram them to basically override the physics engine and make it move, which is very disorienting and vomit-inducing when you're inside an SRV.
Yeah, and the fact that it even if you nudge the commander or the SRV, the speed didn't increase. I rammed LoneJohn like with my fighter. I boosted towards him and nothing happened. He just continued with the 30 meters per second. So that's odd. Am I moving? God damn, what the hell? I'm moving.
Alright, I'm 50 kilometers out. It won't let me actually drop in on Jackie's signal for some reason, so I'm just manually doing this. This planet and the instancing has had all kinds of issues for us.
Guys, if other commanders have troubles, then we may need to move a bit away from the planet. Let you know if it comes to that. I have Taspert here, he managed Chankk is here, and Jack is here. So
Yeah.
you guys managed to jump into the
Janta is in the
instance. Janta is in a wing. He's in Super Cruise now. He's in a wing with me.
There we are. But yeah, as I said at the competition rules, there will be rewards. And as of irony, the rewards will be SRV paint job packs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And yeah.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
I will
And Hanger, that would be for first place, second place, third place, and fourth place, right?
no.
Of course.
I see what you did there. No.
And honestly, I was gonna tell you just to like give my prize at AW, but he's earned his own, so like I don't have to do that anymore.
I have to give some credit to LoneJohn because I think LoneJohn made the most jumps trying to get higher, because every time I checked into the Discord I saw LoneJohn trying to jump even higher and higher.
I think I made about 50 jumps or something. So
Yeah, I think so too. Every time for the past week I have come to Discord, I see LoneJohn trying to jump, and he posts screenshots. And I saw a bit
blue one SRV too. So
yeah, and I saw some kind of giving up mentality also. You were so depressed at one point when everyone went past you, and then you then you took the big jump. So it was fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say like when I finally like obviously Macross had his 65, and then when I hit 100, I just saw AW because I basically me AW like the three of us have been jumping for 2 days almost, and as soon as I hit 100, I saw both of them just be like, oh, like there was this sense of shit, I give up, but they kept at it, and kudos to them.
But if I would arrange a similar competition again, I would really have to reconsider the rules, because I don't think the orbit jumping it's not fair. because as I
Well, you
said,
could just pick a higher
as I said
planet.
before, as I said earlier, it really depends on when you get rescued.
But you could add this rule, like for example, if you go beyond the 21 kilometers limit, you have to be rescued and you have to survive the journey.
Yeah.
If you go too far out, you can die, and it shouldn't matter then. Because it's actually hard to get you back.
I don't know. Can you die in SRV in space?
If you run out of fuel, it self-destructs by itself. So
Yeah, but
there was a jump when I literally just drove into the geyser, and 2 seconds after, all my power just went off because I ran out of fuel.
yeah, but you can synthesize fuel as long as you have all the mats, so you can be indefinitely in the space. So I don't know how should you arrange the rules to get it to be fair competition, because that's really not fair if.
Yeah, it's definitely not fair.
Yeah, no, but this was still fun, and I have to say, rescuing your asses was fun. So.
Oh, we know it was fun because you were laughing at me the whole time you were ramming me.
And the funny part is, I even shot you with my fighter guns, and it did nothing to your speed. Your velocity stayed the same all the time. So nothing really helps with the velocity. And at first I didn't think that it would be even possible to reach the orbit, but obviously it was. After Macros did his jump, I was like, oh no, competition is ruined. So yeah, we have a... Oh no, I'm moving again. Hold on. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 base camps to go after this. 55 days to go. And
we are moving fast.
I'm back
Time is flying.
I'm back with my Anaconda, as you can see.
And I've just confirmed the information for 23 is on Jack's. And that's my find. And I have a trailer for it, too, if you want to enjoy that.
Yeah, I can actually... Hold on. I can actually try if we can get it to the stream, your trailer. Hold on, I just have to find it. Not
it's a terrible trailer. It's a oh god.
Hold on. Hold on.
It is also my last find. I know the next one is going to be either Corrento or Arnaldo, and then 25 is Nimdoc. Nimdoc has actually joined our scout. Sorry to go off topic, guys. AWLJS, but Nimdoc has joined our scouting crew to scout our last BC before we fly into the back into the bubble.
Nice.
And we're not talking about where it is, although it should be pretty obvious because we're keeping things pretty chill and simple here at the end.
Oh man. I tried to get the YouTube window, but... Okay,
anyway, well Hank is busy. LJS, LoneJohnSilver, and AW, our resident math genius. Do you guys mind if I start up the kind of usual interview stuff before we just kind of keep on riding ourselves into silliness? What brought you out here? What made you join this nonsense. Let's start with LGS because he's the winner. He's top
So
dog.
trailer is running now, Chankk.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Well, I think I answered that.
Well, you might want to hold out a little bit because it's about a minute long and it's terrible.
I think it's nice. I think it was good. So yeah, Basecamp 23 is up. With checks, you can ask it from him. What the hell? YouTube.
But yeah, anyway, to get back to things, Lone John, interesting name. I like it. It's a good reference. What brought you? Number one, do you smoke the cigarette? Number two, what brought you out here to join DECE?
Yes, I did smoke the cigarette for 20 years. So not I smoked the brand, but I rolled my own.
Oh yeah, I smoke American Spirits, but when I can actually just get the American Spirit tobacco, it's so much better.
But I rolled my own LoneJohnSilvers for 20 years, smoking without a filter. So
not saying smoking's good. We're both saying smoking's bad. Kids, don't smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm trying to quit. I am. We're both saying smoking's bad, but we're just admitting that we have our faults.
We're only human.
And when the breathing got harder and whistling, I quit. And now
Hey, good for you. Good for you. I'm still on it, but yeah, I'm down. I used to smoke Marlboro Reds, and then I went to American Spirit turquoise, and now I'm down to American Spirit yellow. So it's half the nicotine, half the tobacco. But I'm still working on it. It's hard. It's a lot of work. People who don't smoke don't understand. But
have you tried the vapors? Yeah.
I've been told that vaping is actually really useful, and there's a shop in a city right next to me that actually specializes in it. So at the end of summer, because I have to go out there. I have to go out there for a seminar in a week. I think I may, just invest $50 in something and just see how it works.
Macros, are you depressed about your fourth place because you're so quiet?
He muted himself.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah. Anyway,
guys, updating the forums and trying to get Penny to join us. So I'm busy, guys.
All right. So yeah, Lone John, what brought you out to DECE? What brought you out to this year-long expedition, which is just probably the most insane thing that's ever been done in Elite Dangerous?
Well, for me, in the beginning, I think I answered this question last time I was on the talk show. But for me, in the beginning, I read about it on Reddit, I think. And for me, in the first place, it was just to have a ship to last for 1 year without any repairs, any dockings, or anything. So that was my number one priority. To see.
So it was addition of the exploration experience and actually seeing if you had a ship that could do the job.
No, more of the feeling. I have a ship that can last for 1 year and travel. I don't know how many thousand light years we are going, but to be able to do that was my main purpose. Yes,
Oh, very cool. I mean, obviously we've all been on the show before. We've all been interviewed. I just want to get this background set again. It's okay. It's okay to revamp these things. AW though.
Hey W, you are new here.
You're new, yeah.
Yeah. Let's concentrate.
I'll leave this to Henka. This is your job, Henka. I'm the co-host. Come on.
No, it's Macros' job. I'm directing the camera here.
Well, Macros is muted, so AW, what brought you out to DECE? What brought you out to dedicating a year of your gaming life to this? The insanity, the insanity basically compiled in the past 48 hours that we've had on the surface. What brought you up to all of this?
Well, I just one day randomly stumbled on the forums and just wanted to just check out the exploration tab. I don't know why, there was no special reason for it. I just decided to check out the forum, and there was this thread about circumnavigation. I have never been on an expedition before. I went to Colonia once, or at least twice. Once I failed and once I made it, and once to the Sagittarius A, and that's it. But never like dedicated exploration somewhere. Even though I did join up with a Silly Ships expedition, but I cancelled it at the right before it started.
So this is actually, I mean, like me, this is actually your first proper expedition, and it's the longest one in the game.
AW,
that's really cool.
Did you find
really...
AW? Did you find the mast jump location?
Yes, I'm actually 56 kilometers away, and I'm manually flying because I can't lock onto the signal for some reason.
Yeah, I had the same thing.
Okay.
Nobody can lock on the signal, so we're all flying from 50 kilometers out, coming in.
And there you go, it just disappeared again. The same happened before. It just disappeared and
yeah, we had
right,
that. We had that this afternoon when we were trying to rescue you guys. So it's.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing you write something about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you watch it really closely, the moon is actually moving towards us, which is very surreal.
Oh, is
really?
I've had my camera static this whole time, and I realized, oh, I'm seeing less of the moon. Why is that? Oh, it's moving towards me.
We are statically moving.
Statically moving, yeah, right.
Well, space is weird like that in this game. You know, you forget, like, up and down don't mean anything anymore after a while.
Yeah, north and south, east and west, it's all bungled up. Well, if you don't have any more questions, Chankk, then I have a question for all of you guys. When I heard you asking AW about his experiences and joining this expedition, and the question is, what kind of expedition in what way has it been making you a better commander or better explorer? And you can go first.
Who goes first? AW.
I think, and let's go from the bottom. Yeah, LJS, and then I'll copy it because I've got a one-sentence response to that, and then AW. So let's just follow the rankings. LJS, you take that.
Okay. How I become a better explorer and.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned a lot on this expedition. Before this, I was always exploring on my own, and well, I can't really remember now, but I know that almost everything I know I have learned on this expedition, because before, when I was alone, I was just fumbling in the dark, I think.
I like that. I like that response. Mine's not quite so eloquent. So yeah, my one sentence response. I've learned that there are people that I can rely on, and that I am open to trusting and relying on people, and not having to do everything myself. as clearly we've seen in the past 24 hours.
Clearly. Okay.
And that leaves AW.
Well,
No, it leaves AW and Henke.
AW, it's
So-
your. You can go first.
sure. Well, first thing that I learned is that just a couple of days after starting the expedition, I actually learned what planet to scan for most credits. I actually didn't know that. Because when I went exploring, I never scanned anything that wasn't interesting. I just went to some destination. If I found some interesting planets, I scanned them. If there was nothing interesting, I didn't scan them. I never scanned any Earth-likes. I didn't even knew about ammonia worlds,
Oh my
water
god.
worlds, or even those terraformable. I never knew about them. I knew that there was info when you scanned them about it, but I didn't know that they were more valuable. So there's that. I learned that, and I seriously underestimated how quickly you can take damage out here.
Yeah.
Yes. That's that.
Yeah.
Didn't you, AWO, if I remember right, you started the expedition with cutter?
I did not.
Oh.
I started with an anaconda, a white anaconda with spoilers.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Which I
yeah.
crashed.
Yeah. Now I remember. Yeah. Now I remember.
And then I came back with an anaconda, but not for too long. Then I switched to a cutter, not cutter, a Federal Corvette,
Oh yeah.
which I also crashed twice. And on the second time, I just quit DECE for a while. I
Yeah.
think it was about 2 or 3 months. And then I returned to Beagle with Chieftain.
Yeah, I remember.
That's my story.
Good to have you back.
Thank you.
We are glad for commanders returning back to the expedition. That is really awesome, and especially considering the ship you chose.
Oh yeah, I chose it because of its looks. I mean, the jump range is not bad. It's 40 something, 44. 44,
Yeah.
yeah. But the internals are just horrible. I can't even equip shields.
It's the Chieftain is a beautiful ship
Yeah, it is. But
until it lands and it looks
yeah,
like a frog.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and your whole percentage was in terrible condition today. You had only like 11% left of your hull.
Your hull went down to 11%. Oh
Yes.
my god!
He threw at least 6% just bringing me down and saving me. So because he's got no shields, there's not enough modules on it.
Yeah, I must
Maybe you should explain that, AW. There's not enough modules.
yeah, there's not goddamn modules.
Yeah, that's why I really don't like Chief. I like the looks, but the lack of internals, I just couldn't live with that ship. So that's a shame because I really like the looks of that ship.
I think I agree with Chankk. When Chankk mentioned that it looks really weird when it has landed, so it is kind of spooky.
Yeah, I didn't even know about the leg thing until I was halfway to Beetle Point. Because I once just decided to check out the animation. I didn't even know. I just watched and I was like, what the fuck? My engines are falling down. Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. So we need for our last commander. That's you, Henke.
I have learned to use OBS somehow.
Oh,
What?
And in what way have OBS made you a better explorer, Henke?
I can produce some better content for you guys.
That's nice too.
Oh, touche!
Yeah.
He parried that charge. He parried that charge back cross. He got you there.
Yeah, he did.
I
And
don't-
it
I
is
don't- I don't know
good
if
that
our-
we have someone document our trip.
I don't know if our content is that good, but I really like these talk shows and I really wait for this Saturdays every bi-weekly, and this Saturdays has become very important to me, and every time I have to skip a talk show it makes me sad. because I really love these, and these talk shows and mass jumps has been the highlights of this trip, definitely.
This is
I
a lot of
agree.
fun, and it's every 2 weeks we get a highlight to everything we've seen.
But yeah,
Which, and obviously the four of us have seen something that not a lot of people are going to see because we've all floated SRVs into orbit around a planet.
but honestly, to answer your question, Macros, I think that this trip has taught me some patience.
Oh yes,
And
patience, definitely patience.
yeah, and
So to be
Interesting. I thought you had children.
yeah, well,
He does, and they're adorable. It's so great. Like when he's like, "Sorry, I need to turn off my mic," and it's like, "No, that is the most human thing I've in this whole universe that we have here."
yeah, but seriously,
This kid
nobody
is the most
wants to.
human thing.
Yeah, but nobody wants to hear my three-year-old cry and shout. It's annoying, really. It's life, but it's a bit annoying, and
It's really not a bother, Henka. So I've.
But yeah, also another thing I have learned that I really have to know which ship I'm going to take.
Yeah, you couldn't cross the Tenebris to get to waypoint 33. You had to go back
Yeah.
and change ships, didn't you?
I have to be honest, the G10 wasn't the best option for this trip. I love to fly it, but the range was abysmal at its best. So,
Which, speaking of, I mean, we've got, all these Anacondas. I've got my 50 light years. AW with the 44 that you, I think it was you said you had.
44. Yeah.
Have you had any troubles getting to anywhere other than the most distant, Jumponium waypoints or anything like
There
that?
wasn't really trouble if I had Jumponium. There was no waypoint I couldn't reach, but the gathering of the Jumponium is what demoralized me. I think there's that last waypoint on this U-turn. The last waypoint before this base camp, I actually skipped because I didn't want to waste any of my few Jumponium materials anymore.
Yeah, and it is really close to the U-turn, so it is. It do require some jump range. Which I agree. And speaking of Jumponium, my personal experience with the changes after 3.0 is that I think the germanium percentages have been lower in my experience. What's your
think I've noticed.
experience on that, guys?
Oh, what percent?
Did you have no problems in finding germanium or large quantities of germanium?
Last planet I was on looking for germanium had lots, so I don't share that feeling, no.
No, I don't think I noticed anything either.
Penny, your landing gear is down. You can't jump with your landing gear down. Just a note.
Oh, somebody's using my technique. No, you keep your landing gear up so you can maneuver more precisely and get really close, but you also don't get the proximity warning.
And we
I have a close-up of Penny, and I think she's having a cup of tea.
You can't see through those tinted windows.
Hey,
I'm
nobody
just
knows.
guessing.
What happens behind Saud Kruger canopies stays behind Saud Kruger canopies.
It really does. Oh, and speaking of canopies, or not at all, speaking of canopies, Henka, I think the competition you organized on this base camp was just awesome. It was great fun for me, even though I dared to venture out into space using only one SRV, which I only have one SRV, so...
I actually, I remember.
That's something I wanted to talk about. Yeah, so, some of us only have one SRV. somehow miraculously still have 2. I don't know how. I shouldn't. But other than the physics glitch, which we've all experienced and had to deal with in our long ride down to the planet surface, is anyone else a little bit disappointed in like just the teleportation?
Yeah, I had to talk about it. I was meant to talk about it. I know it's related to instancing, the planet instancing or something like that, but the fact that your SRV just teleports back to the ground about from 18-kilometer height, it's ridiculous.
Disappointing, yeah.
Yeah. I got actually, was it Lone John's drop to the ground? I had it recorded and I should put it to YouTube if someone wants to see it, but it was fun. First he was like 200 meters in front of me and choop, then he was on the ground. I think same happened to Macros, and it happened to
Yeah,
all.
exactly the same happened to me, and it was a bit disappointing.
Yeah, and I'm thinking it's related somehow to the planet instancing. First you leave the planet instance and then you return to it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Basically, because obviously SRVs don't have the physics engine incorporated into them when they break the super cruise barrier, when they break that 20 on this planet in particular 21 kilometers,
Yeah.
and they just become cargo. They become cargo boxes basically. Like once they re-instance into the planet, they spawn as if they're dropped from their ship's hull. Like they just plop down like 1 meter above the ground.
Something like that.
I had to log out last night. I was jumping and I had to log out in the middle of a jump because it started raining and I had my convertible outside with the roof down. And when I logged back in again, it was the same thing. I was just standing on the ground with 100% health.
This is actually the perfect time for me to confess. Every time I reached a maximum height, I just relogged because I didn't want to bother about it. I mean, I had no trouble landing. I just didn't want to spend another 5 minutes getting down.
It's okay. Just don't do it.
Yeah, and either I took no damage, 0 damage, or I took exactly 50% damage. There's only these two figures, 0 or 50%, always. Never anything in between.
Yeah.
Which is kind of
That happened to me too, and one time I landed on the planet, my hull went back to 100%, and I think it was at that time something around 73, and then magic happened, and I went back to 100. Very strange.
Yeah, I don't know if the teleport thing has been always in the game, because I have some kind of recollection of someone jumping to the orbit and we rescued him, and I might be wrong, but that teleport thing hasn't been always there.
No, I think you're right, Henke, because when I made my attempts to get the medal inside a station, a Coriolis station with his SRV, then my first attempts, they got me back to the teleportation.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's a video we watched that happened a year and a half ago or something, where people basically raised up an SRV and actually flew it to a Coriolis station and basically shoved it inside. And basically, like, I don't know if it's because of that video, but since then, the SRV physics, once they're out of orbit, they're completely broken now.
No, I don't think it's because of that, because the physics were exactly the same, except for the teleporting stuff, when we did the attempt. So, and the successful attempt. The first unsuccessful attempt got me back on the planet and smashing into the planet.
Okay then, next Basecamp we have this...
Not a lot of exploding though, so...
At
I
next,
was lucky, but I got damage.
next base camp we have this thing called jumping SOV from planet to another planet. So,
Well,
And I have an
The
idea
next- the next-
for the competition, Henka. We need to do it without the water cases.
ooh,
We need to do it
I've-
with jumping higher and higher and higher. Just as
and the
Dr.
next
Narki-
base camp, the closest landable to it is 50,000 light seconds away. But like I said, like I've been hinting at, people thought they would hate me for making them fly 306,000 light seconds. Just wait till they only have to fly one.
Coast 1 is looking for an invite. If some, I don't have him in my list.
Koshuan, he's Nebulous Freaker.
Okay.
I don't have him.
I have him in my friends list.
I send one. He might got one already.
Oh, wait a minute. I got Nebulous.
A race to invite Nebulous.
Yeah.
And when we're at it, I have a confession too. When I made my my winning jump, I studied Makro's video and copied his behavior and did exactly like this.
God damn you guys, I'm disqualifying you all.
I
Well,
was
there was-
about to say that I did the same thing, so now I'm going to confirm that I did not study Macros's video.
Well, there was a video of a jump that made it to orbit, so why wouldn't I watch it? Sorry, Makro.
Good.
All
We are all expected to learn from other.
Yes.
I'm hearing now is confessions and confessions.
Hey, imitation is the greatest form of flattery, right? That's what they say.
So basically you're telling me...
I have an explanation. No, confession too, actually.
No, Macros, you
My
too.
unsuccessful jumps, I ended up in a crevice and I could not get out. And Nimdark wasn't anywhere around, so I logged back to non-horizons.
Ooh.
There you go. And now, call me a cheat.
But I will say, speaking of rescues and saves, because I got to be part of the last two. AW, this is the second time you've saved me now.
Exactly, yes. I once played golf with your SRV.
But what does it feel like? Oh yeah, I literally got stuck on a rock. I posted the image like yesterday. But that was from that was from 7 months ago or something. But
Yeah.
what does it feel like being on the other end of that? Basically, just floating up there and being able to do nothing.
It felt very helpless. I mean, I felt very helpless. I don't know. It was kind of weird, to be honest. I
You-
never expected to be rescued by anyone.
You should feel like that, you cheating bastards.
Yeah. I didn't cheat. I didn't even watch my video.
Watching videos, hey, watching YouTube's how-to videos is not cheating.
It's educational.
God damn you guys, I'm disappointed.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was definitely different. Didn't expect it to be like that.
I have a question. It all came into my mind when I went back to get my Anaconda. If you would have to choose your ship to DECE now and you couldn't choose the ship you're flying now, which ship would you choose?
Ooh.
I will start with you, Macross, because you love the Anaconda.
Anaconda, it has the greatest view of all the ships.
But if you couldn't choose that,
And I love the range too. So for my part, if I were going somewhere, then my first choice would be. But nevertheless, I've signed up to Distant Worlds 2 with my imperial cutter because it's just so beautiful.
But would you make DECE with cutter? That's the question.
Absolutely not, because that's not why I'm out here. I'm out here to go to the very fringe and visit all IT nils systems. So definitely I would use the Anaconda.
I think we should name the DC2 as Aletnil Tour. Come see all the systems Aletnil visited.
Yes,
But yeah.
and you know, I've been thinking about how to plan a trip along the very edge of the galaxy without attack systems, but I have come to the realization that that train has gone. So
you're
DC2, it will be a revisit of already visited systems, I think, if we are to go on the very edge. There was one section though, long after Beagle Point, where I encountered a lot of systems that hasn't been tagged yet, and I think I was at the fringe
but
of the top of the
continue.
galaxy, where's the notch in the systems, and I didn't see any commanders.
So should we ask Lone John?
Yeah,
Flying
Lone John.
in his.
What
What ship would you take, other than what you're flying right now?
I would take my ASP for sure.
Really?
I don't see any. For me, it's no point to make I have to circumnavigate in an adder. That's not anything for me. I like the range, and I like the comfort, and I like the safe.
But Adder has great range.
Hmm?
Adder has a great range when engineered. You can
Okay.
but the internals are quite bad.
Another. No, but I would take my ASP for sure.
Yeah.
And
AW?
AW's changed his ships, but is there any other ship you would take about?
I don't know. I mean, I really like the range because there are times when I just want to get to a destination as fast as I can. Like for example, if I didn't do any progress for the next Basecamp, and I know that deadline is coming in, I just want to make it as soon as I can. I don't want to spend 8 hours just jumping, and I really want a range. So definitely Anaconda, but I already had Anaconda, so I have to choose another one.
Yeah, that's fair. Like that's why I built up my Orca.
Okay, Chankk, how about you?
Oh God, I was about to say. I guess that leaves me. Sidewinder.
Sidewinder.
Yeah, right.
I think if it was from the ships that were available at the time, I would have taken my Type 6. I would have been flying around with Jonta, and it would have been awesome. I wouldn't have been able to reach a lot of things, but I would have had a lot of fun because I love that. The Type 6 was literally my ship for 2 years. So, but of the new ships, if you include those, I think I'd take the Crate because I really like the view on it.
I haven't flown it yet, but I am thinking of a crate and to the DV2, Distant Worlds 2.
What's
Yeah,
anyway?
It's I think it's kind of like the Type 6, you know, like the Type 6, the T10, the Crate, they're all kind of like 40 to 42, so they're less than you've got.
You know what?
But they've got so much stuff that they can do. Well, not the Type 6. The Type 6 is just a fun, tiny little ship. But like I'm literally flipping a coin. When I get back, I'm gonna build a Crate, build my T10, and I'm gonna flip a coin, and whatever it lands on is what I'm gonna fly.
I would like to try T7 for exploration.
Really?
Yeah. I know she looks like a brick, but
Hey!
it's
a beautiful brick.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful brick.
I
I've
was
got all the T series.
I was about to say, I was about to say that beautiful brick, yeah, and it jumps quite well also after the buff it got. So T7, yeah, I don't see why not.
Type 7 was the first ship I bought a paint jump for.
Yeah,
It's
I
my
really
most
like the
favorite
looks.
ship at some point.
Yeah. I have done exploring in T9 and T10, so I know what those can do, but T7, I have never explored in T7 before.
I
Yeah,
flew my
I-
first
I-
T7 directly into the station end and destroyed my very first T7, and I didn't have the rebuy, so thanks to the saver.
Ooh, don't
You know
fly
what?
where you can't
Macros-
rebuy. It's
Macros-
it's on a t-shirt. Come on.
Macros, you did the exact same I did also. I did also the same. I got finally the money to T7 and I got the flight. I took the first trading mission and I flew in the wall of the station and it blew and I didn't have to rebuy. The exact same happened to
And it
me.
took such a long time for me to get the credits for the T7. I remember that vividly.
Yeah, and the fact that you sat in your sidefinder after the crash, it was devastating.
It was.
I will say, like, I hype the Saud Kruger crew because I'm the only one out here. It's just me. It's me and Eleanor. You know, it's just me and Echo, Dolphin, and Orca, and
Yeah,
you know,
I'm.
obviously we miss Simon. We miss Simon and his beluga.
Yeah, we had more belugas.
But
We have. I remember we
but,
had
you know,
at least 3 belugas at the start.
We did, yeah. We had Simon's bright red flame color, and we had a yellow. But as much as I hype Saud Kruger, like, I own all the type ships, and that's really my go-to. Like, they're not maneuverable. They literally are just like bricks or refrigerators in space, but they're fun, and they have a great canopy. The view you can't beat it.
Yeah. I really love the T
Well, I
series
think
also.
the handling of the T7 is quite similar to the Orca or the Beluga because.
Oh yeah, it is. It's very similar to the Orca. It's almost the same.
Yeah, so it's really good at avoiding the initial entry star. So that's really easy. Nothing like the T9 or the T10, which are just horrible.
No, they are not.
No, they are. No, they are. Dude, I've flown them both. They are.
Blasphemy!
Don't.
Blasphemy!
If you don't throttle
Blasphemy.
down in your Type 9 or your Type 10 when you jump into a star, you're gonna run into it. Doesn't matter what type of star it is.
I don't listen to blasphemy.
Either one.
I have to say, Commander Taspert is keeping up with his cutter, and that's really nice to see because cutters are. We had, I think we had 3 or 4 cutters at the start.
Yeah, we've got a couple. We got a couple cutters, and we've still got. I haven't seen him in a while, but we've got. Who is it in like a cruiser or something like that?
But yeah, we lost
Vex.
Vex. Yeah, we lost Vex at February,
Oh, yeah,
February,
Vex.
and
Yeah, Vex is, and he's quit the game, hasn't he?
I don't know because I
we
haven't
think
heard
so.
from him. We haven't heard from him for a long time.
He's
So-
out of Discord anyway because I remember seeing some conversation about deleted accounts.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah, that's sad to see, but I'm still
miss those guys. I think we all miss everybody, but I hope that in what is it, 2 more months, when we finally get back home, back to the bubble, anybody who's available, come rejoin us. Come join our jumps. Come join our final hurrah. It doesn't matter if you flew. It doesn't matter if you flew halfway around a Beagle Point and went home. It doesn't matter if you flew like to 2 base camps or 2 waypoints. Come meet us. Come hang
Yeah,
out with us.
agree.
Be a part of our group. Like, just come back so we can all have one last big huzzah like we did at Crab Nebula with 50 ships, you know.
yeah.
I concur. The Imperial Cutter is really the most beautiful ship in the game, no doubt about it.
AW, how have you? I know you quit the DECE for a while, but you came back, and there must be a reason for that. So I take it you really enjoy being on DECE.
Yeah, I actually miss the community, to be honest. I miss the community. I miss the same old people sharing their experience week after week. I don't know. I just remember that first week after trying not to check DC Discord every time, because it became a habit. I
Yeah.
turned on the computer. I went on Discord. I checked our Discord. Something new, something old.
Yeah,
Okay,
it has.
So I tried to get into habit of forgetting this habit.
Yeah, it
But I
has
just
become
couldn't.
your second home, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And I
know.
just really missed all the shenanigans that happened, and even if we all gathered once every 2 weeks, it's still something enjoyable. And this is actually the most thing I miss.
Yeah,
That and the
10
fact
months
that
can do
I,
that.
yeah, and that and the fact that if I actually didn't return, then I actually wouldn't have finished my first expedition.
Yeah.
But this is my first expedition. I just really wanted to finish it, even though it is a long one and a big one. I just thought I had to finish it. So there's that.
Yeah, so it's safe to assume that you enjoy being on DC.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How could you not enjoy this? 4 of us flew into orbit, and Henka had to go bring us all down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if I asked someone in the bubble to help me, I would probably get killed.
And here we have Commander Ko Xuan, also known as Nebulous Freaker, who has his ship
Yep.
name censored.
Ko
Actually,
Xuan and Tasbert have both made it here. That's fantastic.
yeah, and Ko Xuan has his ship name censored, and all I can see is D star 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 and O.
I just imagine
Also
he
have
actually.
disorganized.
In my heart and soul, I imagine that he actually named his ship. That's what he named his ship, and it's actually supposed to represent a giant penis to show just how ungodly massive and manly he is.
But actually, it's sex. Sex. Yeah, that's why it got censored, because there's a word sex in his ship name.
Even though it's not combined.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
DES sub S and then space.
Was it
and then
like-
EX something? And so, like, yeah.
It was-
it ignores the space and just thinks, oh, nope, this said sex. So it
Yeah,
blank it all out.
it's made out of 2 different words, but it's spells sex, so it got.
Oh, that was what it was.
Yeah.
My guess was Dickus Bickus.
Well,
you-
we got a minute. So, do we want to do final words? Start with LJ. Go from the top down again. LJS, and then AW, and then Macro, or I guess LJS, me, Macross, or LJS, me. God, I'm not drunk. LJS, final words.
Well, I already made my confessions, so I just want to say I agree with about the thing about this community. It's been the greatest thing on this expedition.
Agree.
Sounds good. AW.
Wow, this. Let me just quickly think of something. Definitely the community. We are a great community. We like flying to the extremes where no one flies. So yeah, we need to find as much stuff out here as fast as we can, so we can bring some legacy back to the bubble. At least someone has to do it.
That's really nice. Chankk. Oh wait, that's me.
Okay.
Go, Chankk.
Same thing I said before. Be excellent to each other, man.
My final words are: I'm not saving your asses anymore. Have a nice jump. And away we go. Onwards to the Basecamp 23. From where I will be absent and hopefully Commander Chankk will fill me in at the talk show. I think this is it, Basecamp 22. We got a little chat and we got a little jump. And has anyone anything to add to the end?
Oh, I'm just glad to be here and to see all you guys and see you all in the black.
Yeah.
I will add that I hope people I look forward to, you know, again co-hosting on Basecamp 23 is the next one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. In 2 weeks,
And
September.
and I hope people enjoy it.
Go to sleep.
Sounds like you're starting to cry, old Chankk.
No, he was making a mockery of me. Damn you, Chankk.
Oh no, I'm laughing at the 10 people who are gonna die trying to land on that planet.
Alright, see you guys. You will see me or hear me in 4 weeks because I won't be at the next Basecamp. I will see you at Basecamp 24 in talk show next time. See you there. Thank you.
See you at the
Good
next
day.
Vex game.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us, man.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.